Hey, sisters.
Hey,
Hey,
sister.
Hey, we got some new faces.
welcome,
Yay.
welcome,
Happy
welcome.
Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yes.
Yes, happy Friday.
Yes. One of our sisters today she is busy getting her land together. So our sister Alexis is not able to join us right now. She might pop in, but we have two new sisters that y'all saw
Mm-hmm.
last live as our guest speakers. But little did y'all know we were planning to expand our sisterhood. So,
Mm-hmm.
Deirdre and Kiki, y'all want to introduce yourselves again?
Absolutely. I'm Deirdre. I am your favorite full-time RV mom of two teenage girls. Send help, please. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. Currently residing, I sold up everything in Atlanta and moved to the woods of Alabama. I live full-time in a fifth wheel RV with no truck, trying to be Ford tough, like CC. But I chose this lifestyle basically to slow life down for myself, for my mental, and then also for my two daughters. And this transition, I wouldn't change it for the world. I have wanted to hit the little button that says tap, but with the challenges you will overcome and just taking one step forward. So I'm excited to be here rolling with my sisters. And I'm
Yes,
excited to be on here tonight and pushing through and just showing up for myself and actually for the sisters of this community that I was invited into. So I'm very grateful. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yay.
And I am Kiki with Rollin Solo RV. I am unplugged from the ordinary, and I chose that tagline because I am a electrician traveling full time in my RV. Me and my two cats who cause all the havoc. Um, and I also am honored and grateful to be asked to be part of this community because, like Deidre just said, I also have a fifth wheel with no truck. So I am full time and doing it in a different way. And I found I needed a community, and I found these amazing ladies, and I absolutely love what they're standing for, and to be a part of that. I just want to get it out there that this life can look like whatever it is you want it to be, and it is never wrong. Whatever works for you, works for you. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. That's the beauty of unplugging from what society or whomever is saying. You have to have this. You make it
Yeah,
whatever you want to. So I just want to let everybody know you can do it. Just do it on your terms.
that's so good.
Oh, real quick, we have a comment on my TikTok. Tanner, if he's still in here, says he has two under four. He said, please send help for him regarding Deirdre. So you saying send help because of the teenagers? He said he has two under four.
Right.
Oh,
Oof.
that's a Whew, yeah. I
Yeah.
can't. I don't. Bless to all the people that can have kids in the RV. Man, I had an adult in the RV. My oldest was in the RV, so I know what that's
My
like.
dog is
Uh,
enough.
hey, a dog and a husband's enough.
Hey, with as
Right.
many clothes as I have, they wouldn't fit anyway.
Hello from YouTube. We got a hello from a YouTuber. Hello, thank you for watching
Welcome.
and tuning in.
Thank you.
But I'm Amber, and I'm part of the Veteran Nomads. My husband and I started this because, long story short, we were in the military. We served, and when I was a truck driver, my husband would be on the road with me, and he was like, "Wow, there's so much of this country we haven't seen, and I would love to." And I was like, "You're right. We served our country, but we haven't seen it, and so let's see it." We're empty nesters. We're at that point in life where, like, hey, we don't really need to live in a house right now. Let's just rent our house out and go travel and maybe revisit where we are in like 5 to 10 years and see whatever. Because my husband did retire from the Air Force, and so it was like, he's done his career. He's like, now he doesn't really want to. I'm not saying he doesn't want to have another career. He just wants to figure it out, find out what he really wants to do. So actually next month, in like less than 2 weeks, we'll be heading to back to Texas for RV school. We're going to be starting our own business, so that's a whole new journey. And Kiki, I will be reaching out to you about the electric stuff because I'm learning about, amps and Ohm's law. And I'm like, this is not what I want to do. Like, what? how do y'all, what are you talking about? Like what is current? What do you mean that can't go that direction? Like what? I'm so confused. I
I look
oh,
forward to it. I look
yes,
forward to being source not only to you but to anyone who has questions.
yes. All right, Cece.
Great. Oh, I am Camp Couture. My brand is romanticizing the camping experience. I enjoy this RV life. I started for different reasons, but now it's just become the norm for me, and I love that. I love that we can redefine what my day to day. I guess I should start with that. So I have a 9 to 5. I travel a lot for work. About 75% of my job is on the road, trying to get it to the point where I can stay in areas longer so that I can pull my RV, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. So I love that I can change the status quo about what normal is when you have a 9 to 5 by living in an RV. Like, I, as you guys see on my TikTok all the time, I have a lot of hobbies and a lot of interests, and I like doing nice or different things that just make me happy. So the fact that I can still do those things and still live the life that I've always lived in an apartment and when I lived in a house, but I'm just doing it in an RV. I love sharing that with y'all. Definitely trying to get better about sharing, the tips and the tricks too, but I just love sharing that this lifestyle can still be when you live in an RV. So yeah, that's my brand. That's why I do it. That's why I enjoy it. And I'm a part of Rollin With My Sistas, where I get to share that with other women who look like me, that do the same thing, that are still bosses in their own ways. And it's nice to be in a community, and I love it here.
Yes, I love this community. Honestly, I, 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 I get even people that don't look like us, like say, "Oh my gosh, I love what you ladies are doing." Like, and they're like, "Come on, you can come. Like, you could join. Like, you don't have to look like us. We just say for that look like us because we
Right.
are in a lifestyle that's questionable." Like, I made a funny post the other day, which is true. It's like we get people that don't look like us to say, "Well, how can you afford this lifestyle?" And then you get the other people that look like us be like, something wrong? Are you homeless? What's going on? You struggling? Like, how can it be both? Like, how can we be
Hmm.
both, be broke and like rich at the same time?
We're just
Like,
trying to live.
Right.
thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
It'd be like, are you
So,
okay?
Hmm.
right. Yes. But I'm so glad that we have this community because we can truly learn from each other. We can truly like just build off of each other and help each other. It's already hard enough out here as females, and then also trying to be in this industry. I say it's an industry because it truly is. It's like its own world, and
Yeah.
um, sometimes we need that connection, to kind of just feel like we're a part of something that we are. It's different when we're and that's one thing like I said, I always talk about this. When I first came across CC's content, I was like, wait, what? How is she doing this? Like, she got like a
Right.
whole production in her RV. Like, what is this? Like, what is so gorgeous? Like, what? Like. And so it was a different side of RV life. And I'm just watching all you ladies just basically own yours. I know Kiki revealed herself last live. She stepped out and did that, and it's amazing just to see everybody come together in their own. And I love that we're growing and we're building and everything like that. So thank you, ladies, for being a part of that. Um, and so real quick, we're gonna get into some topics tonight, but we really want to talk about one that Deirdre talked about. And go ahead, Deirdre, if you want to go ahead and bring that up.
Yeah, so for me, as a single parent living in Atlanta, Georgia, I always felt stretched, right? But I did have a support system there. But I also had two daughters that I felt like, um, even though we had the home, like we had the traditional home, we had the, close proximity to their school, still in all the activities and stuff. But I just felt like their environment and their community for their school started to shift once my youngest daughter got into like the seventh grade. And it was things I was starting to see in the community that I just didn't agree with, behaviors and stuff like that. So I was like, let me try this. Let me just try to see if they would be with me moving. And my first introduction to them to the RV life was like they were the person that was like, "Are you okay?" But they were like, "No, Mama, that's too small. Like, we couldn't fit in that." And initially, my vision wasn't to get one so big. I started looking at smaller ones. But I kind of bribed them a little bit. I remember it was Mother's Day weekend, and of course the kids want to get something, but they don't have the the funds. And so I was like, I got something that make them feel like they did something for me. So I was like, well, the only thing I want from y'all is to go with me to an RV store. So I can't remember the name of it, but at that time, I had already moved to Florida and I was going through like a very strain on my mental health. And that was like my unofficial therapy. So I moved to Florida. I was down there first without the children and they, followed up with me. And while I was down there Mother's Day weekend, I was like, come and look at these with me, y'all. This is what I want for Mother's Day. And initially I didn't have the buy-in, but once we went to the RV store, the gentleman that showed us, I wish I could remember his name and just send him a thank you letter. But while we were there, they were like, hold up, wait a minute. Like looking at the Class C's and not even the fifth wheels, just the, tow behind. And then we looked at a fifth. No, actually we did look at a fifth wheel. But at that time I was just like, I don't know, it might be too much. Like, I don't know if I can afford it. Just thinking with a scarcity mind. And so then I was like, okay, well, maybe I got them a little bit. And because it's a big change, they're leaving everybody they've grown up with from kindergarten to eighth grade to ninth grade, 10th grade, same school, same community, all of their, family, everything. And I wanted them to transition with me. And it was hard. Like I felt the baddest mom guilt, but I also knew that I had to step out on faith with it. So once I took them to see those RVs, I kind of got a little bit of buy-in. And then true story is that I initially didn't even get approved to get the RV, but I had already bought the land. So I was like,
Mhm.
something's got to give. So I ended up going on some website. I can't even remember the name of the website, searching through. And I found, well, that's when I found out I didn't get approved. I, found a gentleman who was selling, he was in Georgia. He was building his house and he, I guess, really wanted to get rid of this RV or cover the fee or whatever. And so I took the girls to look at it, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. They have their own space. And so when I say send help, this is where it gets to this point. I got their buy-in, right? And initially when we got out here, we stayed in a RV park, very family friendly. We were right on the lake. They did all the water sports. They met new friends who had boats and is it called scudoos or jet skis or whatever. So it made my transition
Mhm.
with them better than what I anticipated. Because at first I was just so sad, like kind of depressed about it because I felt like I ripped them, and it wasn't just for them; it was more so for myself. But as they got to meet new people, they started making more friends than I did. They started, enjoying the community, ride on golf carts, attending the events, stuff like that. So it made me very excited that they were able to experience that. Then when we got back to our land, this where it got really tough. It started like a flip flop. We went from off grid to lit. I love it when Cece was there on my life. We
Yes.
started with a generator, and so it kind of took some steps back. And they were like, one of my youngest daughters, she was like, I'm not with this. It was in the heat of August and September, and she was like, I want to leave. I want to go and reside with my sister in Texas, like all the way in Texas. And so I was like, I cried. I was just like, yo, what have I done to my children? Like, I'm traumatizing them. But the thing that I appreciated most is she stuck it out. And I wasn't letting her leave anyway, but it just hurt to know that she didn't understand the bigger picture just at the moment. But now they locked in, like they are thriving in their sports. They have learned how to fish. They have learned how to filter the bag gas out of her four-wheeler. They're enjoying hiking. They're meeting new friends and doing new things. My daughter's in agriculture, agriculture program at her school, so she'll have a certification when she graduates next year, and that helps with the land. And I didn't even sign her up for that. It's just God given and the programs that they have out here. So when I go to NRCS, I'll be like, oh baby, we certified. So just to say from the beginning to now, I'm blessed. It's a lot of work still ahead, but I have the buy-in. And my daughter's like, Mama, I'm getting me a tiny house or a mobile home this year. I'm going to work. I'll be, in the reserve and I'm going to get this money. I want I want my little single wide on here. So we have enough land. We have 14 and a half acres of land. So I'm grateful. And I'm just happy to share that story with somebody because it's hard when you transition your children from what they're used to. It's hard for me, but it's easier for me to deal with, right?
Mhm.
And I know how to kind of advocate for myself. And sometimes they didn't know how to do that. And they were just like, get me out of here. Send me to Texas, honey, where the house has the water, the lights and everything. So um, you got to find a creative way to be able to get them to transition because it's not always about you as the parent. You also want to have that buy-in because it can make the transition very hard. They could have came out here and been rebellious, hated it, giving me so much gripe and grief, but they are accepting what we've transitioned to, and I'm loving it.
And Deirdre, you always post on your Instagram, especially about cheer, and I know we hear it in our chat. So you're balancing more than just teenagers in an RV. You're balancing their social lives too. So
Girl, their life is
how's
my
that
life.
been? Yeah.
Um, my PTO is scheduled around them. Just say that. Like, I already knew what their schedules were for the year, so I kind of put that in at the beginning of the year. Now, what I want to do obviously don't matter because my job will not approve it at this point because stuff pop up. But um, luckily, I have a 17-year-old that learned how to drive, so she kind of helps with the load. But as a single parent, just having to manage that, I was blessed to even get her sponsored. She got a scholarship for cheer this year, so that didn't come out of pocket for the competition fees, which was a lot, but I'm still covering like the travel part, and that is a lot, especially with working and just trying to show up for myself and push myself out there. But one thing I'm gonna do is show up for my babies, and I'm gonna make sure they get, I don't want. I had to tell her the other day, like, I don't need you to worry about how it's gonna get handled. I don't want you operating in a mind of scarcity. I'm gonna figure it out. You just go and you be great, and we're gonna
Mhm.
get there. And look what happened. She ended up getting a scholarship her second year in competitive cheer. So we're working it, honey. My daughter just texted me and told me the youngest one, she didn't make the cheer team for next year, but she does soccer, track, basketball. I'm like, okay, rest your body. It's okay. They're lost. She'll be
Right.
all right. So I got a doctor on her before I go to work tonight.
Do you think when you get a truck, you'll follow her with competitions? I know my parents' friends, they just went full time, and before their daughter went to school, they were pulling their RV to wherever her volleyball competitions were because she was on a travel team. Do you think you'll do the same when you get a truck?
I would love to, honey. Let me tell
Yeah.
you. I would love to. Because I even when I parked my car this past weekend in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, it was at the convention center. And I pulled up into a parking spot and I didn't read the sign. It was for trailers. But people were parking there in regular cars. And I was like, I'm blocking somebody. This is for trailers. I was like, I could have pulled my trailer in here
Mm-hmm.
and just been, what do you call it when you're not hooked up?
Boondocking.
I could have boondocked my little
Mm-hmm.
cell phone. But I would love to. They don't like the move as much as I like the move. So I think once the youngest in 4 years, if I'm not with the man that loves to do what I do, honey, they're gonna have to find me. I'm Carmen San Diego in this thing. Like, you're gonna have to find me. So um hopefully truck comes soon, or if it doesn't, we'll just stationary and I'll hit the flights or I hit the car and we'll just keep rolling.
Yeah, yeah, the truck will come. Definitely will come. I think our other sister just got her truck not too long ago, and she
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
was like, she haven't been making it work without one. So you do what you got to do, and just I that kind of goes into some of the topics we're talking about is like when emergency preparedness. But I just wanted to touch real quick on with having children. I had my kids in my RV in our RV one time as like a family, all three. I'm like, first of all, it wasn't this RV, it was a much smaller RV. Like, this RV says it can sleep 10 people, it can barely hold five. Like, I don't know how. And I'm like, I guess they mean like little people because my kids were 16, 17, and 18, and or actually they were 17, 18, and 19. I was like, there is no way that all three of us can fit. I mean, all five of us can fit here. The three of them, like my daughters, two of them slept on the bunk bed and then one slept on the couch. I'm like, there is no way that this thing can sleep 10 people. But I will say my oldest lived with us for a little while. From she was from like about a year. She was 20 when she came in, and then our birthday happened, so she turned 21. But I will say, for them was a little different. For her, for sure, she she used to hate having to I'm not used to having to get down off the bed to go to the bathroom. Like I keep forgetting how to flush the toilet. Like it is like a little bit of adjustment. She's like, I'm not cooking on that stove because it's scary. I'm like, you've cooked on a gas stove before. It's the same. She's like, nope, this is different. I was like, how is it different?
It's a
She's like, because you
smaller
got to hit
space.
this, that too. She's like, you got to hit this and this at the same time. It's like, I mean, I get it, I guess. She's like, plus it moves when you move around, it moves around with you and stuff like that. There's no privacy. I was like, you're right, because our last one, the only door outside of getting into the RV was the bathroom door. We had curtains to divide the bunkhouse and the curtain to divide our room, so like there really was no privacy. Um, and then we got this one, and it was a little bit better because like the room I'm in right now, it's my husband's man cave / my office. Like this is my desk, but I haven't had to use it, so um there also has a bunk area where you can fold down, and so I liked it because it's like her own little private space, and but because it's off on the like she could not get a comfortable because there is no like piped air that comes in here. There's a fan that will pull air in, but it's no piped air because it's in the slide. So this is all the slide. So either get really hot or really cold. She had to
Right.
make a lot of adjustments. She was okay with the moving around. Even though we didn't really move anywhere besides from like one part of Dallas to the other side of Dallas. But because she was military child, like her dad, she was with her dad majority of her life, and so her dad was also in the military, so she's used to moving. That wasn't the issue. It was just trying to I kept telling her she wanted to buy stuff, and I said, baby girl, you can't buy stuff. There's you have a small space. We have
Yeah.
weight limit. Like you can't buy like all that. But I will say having kids in your RV is definitely something I wish I could have done. I would have loved to give
Right.
them experience because that one trip that we did do in Utah, it was fun. Like they got a chance to just see what it was like to live differently, and they enjoyed it. We got cooking out outside. Like we could do that at the house, but it's not the same. Having campfires, going to the resort
Right.
pool and going on adventures, it was a whole different feel, and I wish I could have like exposed them more to that. So I will say just watching other people that do this lifestyle that have teenagers, see them transition, like they actually do make a lot of accommodations for their kids growing out of their space, whether it's renovating their RV to where their kids have actual like divided space, or some actually upgrade their RVs to have that. Truly, you just have to do what's best for you, but please don't ever feel like you. I don't know the exact word you said earlier about how you kind of felt like
Mom guilt.
mom guilt. Yeah,
Mm.
there you go. Don't feel like you have mom guilt because you have to understand. Right now, kids may not understand, but kids, you have to understand you're doing the best what you can for your kids. And right now,
Right.
kids may not understand that, but as they get older, they might be like, you know what, mom, I see. Like I didn't understand. I was a kid. You did what you could to protect me. As long as your kids are happy, they're safe and healthy. That's all that should be the matter. Like it outside of things being different, it's a part of life. And it honestly, right now, as they're growing, this is the best age because they can deal with change a little bit easier.
Right.
Whereas if kids that have the same over and over again and then something different happens, then their whole world's going to come down. And at least this way now, they know they have adaptability. They
Yeah,
have
I love
functionality.
it.
I
You're
was
right.
I
I love
obviously
it.
do not have any children, but I was gonna say they'll definitely appreciate it when they're older. Literally, our HR lady at my job, when she found out like my page and everything, and she saw it, she's like, I just had to tell you like how cool, like I love your content and everything. Her mom used to live in a bus when they were younger, and she was like, I was so embarrassed, and I had this hippie mom, and she lives in a bus and everything, and she's like, and then I see your content, and that's all I want to do now. I said, you need to go apologize to your mama.
Yeah, somebody tried to hit
Because
my
she was
child
ahead of
with
her
it.
time.
She came home and she was like, Mama, do you be posting? It was something dealing with water. And I was like, no, I mean, I don't really post a lot about, water situation at our house. And she said, she came home and she was like, they called me broke. And she kind of chuckled about it. And I was like, I was like, this is the same kid that probably has not been, when I say we live in the country, we live in the country. And I'm not shaming these kids, but a lot of them have not been outside of Talladega.
Mm.
And this is your land. This is your wealth. Girl,
Nope.
take that. Whatever they talking about, tell them, yeah, I use this generator to get lights.
Mm-hmm.
You tell them that. And you say it with your
Yeah,
chest and your head high. Because when your mama move on and go somewhere else, you sitting right here on some land that's paid cash.
that's
Ain't
it.
nothing broke about you.
That's it.
Right.
And she
And
just
that's
kind
the
of laughed at
mentality.
it.
And that's the thing. People want to talk about and speculate about a lifestyle they have no idea. Um,
Right.
I constantly I listen. There's one RVer I follow. Her family called the Wild Thorn Baileys, and she made a very good video about I want to spend for a house that I can't enjoy the rewards of it until I'm old, like old and can't enjoy life. I'd rather do experiences. My kids are fed. My kids can have these experiences that they can carry on. They're learning life more now than they were ever in school. She was like, they have experiences. They have better social skills. They can travel and see things, and they have better understanding of the world, not just their bubble. And I think about it, and like I said, my friend always likes to humble me when I like talk about people, like people in my family like want to judge me about doing this lifestyle. RVs aren't cheap, no matter what.
Period.
Who you
That
telling?
that
I don't care if you paid $1,000,
Used or
$5,000.
otherwise?
Last time I said, like, I know somebody bought an RV for $1,000. Last time I checked, $1,000 is not easy to come up with nowadays. $1,000 is equivalent to about $5,000 right now if you want to factor in the cost of inflation. We
Right.
just found a smarter way to live. Like, why do we need to? Why do we need I call it the cheat code. We found the cheat code. Like,
Literally.
why do we need to work so hard to really be broke? Like, you can work and enjoy your paychecks now, because now, like Deirdre, she's working and she can take her kids to these cheer competitions, not have to worry about like, oh, I need to choose between rent and my kids. Like, I need to choose. Like, now it's like we have McDonald's money. Let's
And
go to
do.
McDonald's.
Right.
Hey, everybody in here gets McDonald's.
Right. You
Right.
get a frappe, you
Everybody
get a
gets
frappe,
snacks.
you get a frappe.
There you go. Like, I don't understand. Like, why are people hating on the fact that, hey, my rent here is five, like literally where we are, our rent is $500 a month with all utilities included. Even if you factor in our RV payment, still not
Yep.
$1,000 a month.
Exactly.
You find anywhere. And guess what? I'm still paying for something that I own. I own this, regardless. It's owned. Yes, a depreciating asset. Okay, way the market is right now, they're also depreciating too. Like, like why? If you don't understand, that's one thing, but don't tear down somebody else. Point is, like, don't
Right.
tear down somebody else because you don't understand.
They don't know what they
Ask.
don't know.
They don't know. And you know what? That's fine. Be ignorant, because ignorance is bliss, I guess. Because you know what? I'm enjoying lifestyle over here. I'm enjoying being able to plan, change my background, change my backyard whenever I feel like, hey, let's go to Florida for the winter. Like, oh man, that's gonna cost a lot
Right.
of money. We gotta pay for flights. You gotta pay for hotels. No, we just
We're
gonna
gonna do it once a year, probably.
Yeah.
Like if
Pulling it.
traditionally. And then to be real, half our RVs look better than some of the apartments y'all pay all this money for.
that
More
yeah.
features and all of that. But no shade. I'm just saying.
Right. Oh, straight facts. Facts.
Mm.
She's like,
If it fit, wear it.
I got a missing cabinet I gotta fix, but I'm just saying my thing is nice with the fireplace and big screen TV, the outside
Exactly.
speakers. I don't have to carry my speaker outside. Got my own awning, like it's cute.
right. And it comes furnished.
Exactly.
When it comes furnished, you don't have to worry about. I mean, you can change out your furniture, but you buy it furnished. You buy it with all
Yes.
your appliances, everything. Like, you don't have to buy a couch, you don't have to buy a table, you don't have to buy a bed. Yeah, you want to upgrade these things, but you don't have to buy it out front. You could take your time. It's not like you sitting on crates and on the
Right.
floor. You have something for now. It might not be what you want, but it's something. Like, I know I don't want our couch. I
I
don't. I
don't
want
want
to
mine
change.
either.
I took
I
all
want to
mine
change.
out being used. All my furniture came out of here. Everything that it came with left, because when you buy used and it's sitting in storage for a while, that just won't go. That was, I had already had furniture in my storage unit, so I just replaced everything with furniture I already had. I bought this chair though, but replaced it with furniture I already had in my storage unit and redid it, and then just bought a new mattress. But everything else is already here.
Yeah, So like that's it. And I mean, and people tell, oh, what about the maintenance? If you have a house, you have maintenance.
You can't get rid of maintenance.
You
You can't get rid of.
Even if you have buy into a condo and a maintenance man, you're still gonna have to do some stuff yourself. You can't get rid of it. Like,
Right. It's just now is it a little bit more aggy? It's a little bit more aggy. Yeah, I mean,
Everybody should. Yep.
yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
the rewards definitely the rewards definitely benefit more from this lifestyle.
Yeah.
More than like I wish I would have done this when I was younger. I wish I was like age, been able doing this, like being smart. Like, hello, why am I paying somebody, I mean, when I was like in my early 20s, I paid for an apartment, it was like $450 a month. But that was also like in the early 2000s, over 20 years ago. But I mean, why am I paying somebody $450 a month that I'm not getting nothing out of that besides a place to lay, and I'm working to pay for that?
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather pay for something that I know is mine, that I could just like, hey, I know I'm gonna have to work. That's not the issue. But I don't want to have
Right.
to be a slave to work. Like, you have to take a vacation from the house that you're paying for. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
You work it 40 plus hours a week to take a vacation just to go pay to stay somewhere else. Bye.
Make it make sense.
Right.
It's like you're like chasing your tail. Like, you're
right.
just like,
Yeah.
Hashtag
that's why it's called the rat race. That is exactly why.
I mean, back in the 70s and 80s and even the 90s, that was the American dream. The American dream is turning into an American nightmare, and I don't want any parts of that.
On my own terms, please.
Thank you. Like, and I'm like, the thing is that we still have our house. And every time my tenants are friends, our tenants are friends of ours. Not a problem with them. But anytime there's something wrong with the house, it's like, God damn, can't catch a break. Yeah, I don't want this house no more. Because those repairs are a lot more costly versus like, so.
And are you're sending people there to handle it?
Yeah, we just kind of just find contractors that that we can the best rate. We learned not to go the cheapest rate anymore. We made that mistake once, won't do that again. We tried to do the homie hookup, and he homie hooked us up out of some problems. I was like, not that no more. Not gonna do. He was like, I think I like to think of him. He was like the bro man of Martin. He's like he could do a little bit of everything, and it was it done right? No.
Yeah.
No.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, exactly. Master of, come to find out, did not know. He was he did have like good skills, but he was over more like carpentry. Like at I want to say like like where we were in Florida, they had a lot of condos. So he was over like a management company. He was like the head guy. Did not know he was borrowing tools, bringing them to our house. Like, hey, do you mind if I leave this? I'm going to need this when I come back, in 2 days.
He was running the operation at the place of employment,
and then leaving them in our house. And like, he never came back because clink clink, he got in trouble for something and never heard from him again. Come to find out, and I'm like, I don't even know what company he worked for, because I want to get these. When I tell you that he had tools that was probably worth of like $1,000 just in our closet, like just chilling, because he redid our cabinets, so he needed some certain things. It's like, we're over here hoarding tools.
Right. You're an unwitting accomplice.
We're accomplices now.
Right. Literally. Wow.
That's funny. All right. So let's get into a little bit more of the topics that we have. Let's see where we at. We're on. Okay. Oh, Cece, did you want to talk about the Facebook group?
Got you. Yep. So definitely follow us on all of our platforms. I think everybody has their name already on their boxes here, so just follow.
Yes.
Also follow our group page at Rollin Wit My Sistas. We are on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. The name is, I always forget the name.
Black Sistas Rollin.
Black Sistas Rollin on our. Sorry, Black Sistas. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, it keeps showing a microphone. Okay, Black Sisters Rollin on Facebook, and then Rollin With My Sistas on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. Right.
Yes. Yes.
So follow us on all platforms. Also, please do not forget our fifth sister, Alexis,
Yes.
with the Wells _ family for life. And she's on
Yes.
Instagram and TikTok and YouTube.
Yes. Yes. We're actually
We're
streaming
live.
live on our Rollin With Our Sistas YouTube right now. We have some people watching from that actual platform. We have 2 viewers. So hi to y'all from our Rolling with My Sisters
Hi.
platform. Thank you. So make sure you hit that subscribe and follow. All everybody's handles are in the description box for Rolling with My Sistas. So make sure you go through and follow everybody there. All the main platforms there, because I can only do so much. I think I have everybody's Instagram and TikTok, because I feel like those are the most popular ones.
Yeah.
And then you could find YouTubes and stuff through there. So for some of the weekly, the topic, the other additional topics are more in line with what we've been experiencing these last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Weather and emergencies. Weather and emergencies. I'm pretty sure y'all had some doozies, because we honestly, the storm literally like went right between where we are outside of Shreveport and right north of Shreveport. The storm broke up, but we did get hit with some winds. Like we got hit with like 40-mile-per-hour gust winds.
Yeah.
But we didn't get any of the storm, but I was watching it on YouTube, because I like to, I know generally where most of you ladies are in the central locations that you are. So I like to be able to make sure I'm watching. I used to be a truck driver. I don't play with weather and anything that is not secured to the ground, dangerous.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm always watching 2-3 days in advance, especially in the South, especially because those storms down here are, they can be they can kind of come unexpected. Like they say one thing and then it's actually stronger than what they predicted. So weather preparedness is something I really want to talk about, because I've seen a lot of people have issues and worried about things, and that kind of goes into like preparing for emergencies. So first, with weather preparedness, I would say you need to always have a weather app. There's quite a few. I use 2 different ones. I use WeatherBug and the Windy app, because the wind, it actually tells you the wind speed of where you're currently are. I learned that app when we were gate guarding at our 24-hour gate, because we had our tent up 24/7. So they did sometimes get gusty winds, and we wanted to know, like, it literally breaks the wind down hour by hour. It's a free version and there's a paid version. I just got the free version. And it tells you the direction, and you can kind of just go from there. You don't have to put in your location. It just picks up your GPS location and everything like that. WeatherBug, that's something I used when I was trucking, and that was just more so like you can see where the storm is. You can see the radar. You can see all of the different things that you need to see, and you can just put all your cities. Like I have like where my family and friends and stuff are located, so I can always look at any time like their locations. Having a good weather app, but also a good weather radio. In case, granted, it's one thing I do love about RVs. Even if we were to lose overall power, we know our 12-volt systems will still work. So if you have USB plugs or anything like that, you can plug in your weather radio into a USB plug, so that way you still have power. But we have a weather radio that has 3 ways of getting power: solar, you can charge it, and then it has a wind up so that you still can get power. But it also has USBs on there, so if you need to plug in your phone, you need to charge something, it has a little bit of battery capacity to help out. I would say weather radios are definitely a must. Everybody needs to have one. I don't care. I feel like they're like, you can get a cheap one, like a basic one, for like $20, or you can go up to like a whole full on weather station and cost a couple $100,000. Couple $100, maybe a couple thousand. It just depends on how serious you are. This will be perfect if what's his name? Oh, Lord. Megawatt was here, because I know he does not play. He lives in Oklahoma, and the weather in Oklahoma is definitely not very friendly out there. Also, so this goes into also another thing you can do to prepare for weather. We always add water to our freshwater tank. water weighs approximately 8 pounds per gallon. So that adds anywhere from 3 to 700 pounds extra, just depending on the size of your freshwater tank. Also, I know people always talk about like change the like if you can change how where you're parked at. Oh gosh, am I lost? I'm frozen. Can y'all
No,
hear
we can.
me?
Yep.
Yes.
We hear you.
Okay, because my everything's frozen right now for me. I don't know what's wrong. What's up with my internet? Um, I'm gonna hold on real quick. I'm gonna step out. Y'all can talk real quick. I need to step out to try to fix my internet. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'd like to piggyback off of what she's saying about weather preparedness. Maintenance also is goes hand in hand with that. I think you should have duplicates for most of your immediate supplies. So
Hmm.
if you have a 50 amp plug, get a second one, because what happens if that pedestal goes out, gets hit by lightning, and you don't have a second one? You're going to be trying to find a camping store to find these supplies. So it's always good to keep a secondary and a third if you're like me. um get to know the systems in your RV. Me being an electrician, that's the first thing I did. Is I went to figure out, okay, what fuses do I need, what's the circuit breaker ratings and things like that. So yeah,
That's
I was
good.
just piggybacking off of that.
I need to do that. I need to get one of those few extra fuse kits and just keep them, because I
Yeah.
that did happen to me when I changed my propane and gas detector. One of the fuses had blew, and my
Mhm.
dad, he has a whole toolbox in his garage, obviously, so he had extra ones. But that's a good point of keeping fuses in case something like that happens, and I'm not near him to get one.
Right,
I had to
right.
learn, not even with weather though, when it comes to keeping that doubles, like just carry out to what you're saying, is because when I was at the RV park, the guy was riding a zero turn and he hit, and then the person hit, it was a separate person with the zero turn, and it was a person that did the weeding. The person with the zero turn ran over my plug and pulled it out of the RV. All you heard was run. That cord was $400, but
Oh,
they replaced it. And then the weeder came through and whacked up my hoses. So I have to make sure I order. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
but if y'all have any
Yeah,
great tips on those hoses, send me some because the ones I be having, they
extreme.
crack
I
so.
just me and my husband were talking about this just not too long ago because actually one of our hoses does have a like a washer in it. So because that's a washer and dryer hose, I'm not really worried about the water coming out, it'll be water or whatever. But if it had been one of the other hoses, it would have been like a problem, like a real problem.
Right.
But I did some research and come to find out there's this extreme rhino extreme hose. It can be, this guy literally ran his truck over it and it didn't flatten or anything. It like just bounced back
Mhm.
up. And it's expensive, but to me, I rather, instead of constantly buying some, I'd rather invest in them and and use that instead. So it's like a heavier duty material. It's really good. Doesn't get, you know how like if you guys have been in the sun and it's really hot, if you've ever touched your
Mhm.
sewer hose, it kind of feels like soft and like it's about to melt.
Mm-hmm.
Or it freezes. Well, this one it does really well in, I'm not gonna say in like extreme freezing temperatures, but like between 20 to 34 degrees, and extreme heat like up to 120 degrees. So
Yeah.
it can really help out with that. So I'm like, we're definitely going to invest in that. Probably going to need two of them because the way our systems are set up. But it also comes with like, there's a kit. I have to make sure I'll text it to you guys. But it has a whole kit. It's like $85 on Amazon, but it comes with like the sewer end caps. So like when you're putting it up, you put the caps on there so that it prevents any water from anything else leaking out. It has all the extra elbows and everything that you need to put into the actual sewer into the ground. And then it comes with the clear elbow that you be like, it's amazing. So that's crazy that that you brought that up, because I was like, wow, that we were just talking about that last night.
Right.
Yeah, I need extra hoses and extra cords.
Hmm.
And the
Yes.
fuses. I experienced that, the burn of a fuse. So
Yeah.
y'all speaking the truth.
Yes, always. That's a good. That's good to always have. We have two things of fuses. We keep one that's accessible in the RV, and then we keep a set in the truck. Because honestly, it's the same fuses that you would use for a vehicle. There's nothing different. about them. You just need to know make sure when you're putting them in your actual fuse box that you're putting the correct fuse in. I hate anything dealing with electric. So I'm always like paranoid when I'm like, I have flipped our circuit breaker a couple times, and I'm always paranoid that I'm gonna like cause a fire. Like I'm so paranoid about that. Me and electric I'm scared. I'm scared of electric. Like real quick, I just learned how to jump start a car like maybe 5 years ago because I was scared of, I don't know if I have the connections right. I don't want to, I'm thinking like, and anytime I was around a vehicle that had to be jumped, I would run away while they're in the process of jumping. I'm scared of electric.
My battery died on my RV, and I'm gonna tell him myself because my dad's the type to get up here and put eyes emoji until I tell the real story. So I'm gonna tell him myself. My battery died on my RV. Well, it was already dead. I hadn't gotten my new one yet because I had just gotten this one, and I was emptying my tanks at their house, and so I was using the macerator, and so I had to plug it up to my truck, like plug the positive negative to my truck instead of doing it to the battery like I usually would. The way my truck battery is, there's the black and the red, for positive and negative, whatever. But it was covered on one end and I didn't see it. So I plug it on opposite ends. Whole time, both of them were plugged up to the positive. And so I go tell my dad, I'm like, I don't know what's going on with the macerator. I'm thinking it's the macerator because I've had issues with it before. But I was like, something's going on with the macerator. It's not working or whatever. He comes to check on it. He's like, it's not, nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's blocking it. I don't know what's wrong. He was like, you got to plug up to your truck. And I was like, yeah. And he opens it and he's like, do you want to take a look at this? And I was like, what? Like I plugged it in. He was like, they're both on the same outlet. And I was like, no. It was literally the way my battery is set up. It's like positive and negative, but the positive has like a second like area or something. And so I plugged it up to that one, but it was connected to that same one. I had no idea. It was on opposite ends. One was black, one was red. I just assumed. And so like I'm trying to like get him to understand, which he don't. I'm trying to get him to understand what I'm thinking. And I'm like, no, like I need the benefit of the doubt. Like you see what I see, right? He was like, he's like, I'm not. He's like, I'm not going there with you. And I'm like, no, you see what I see. You can see how I made this, And then, but my thing is with explosions, like him and I have this talk all the time because I just don't think it could be that bad. And obviously it can be. Don't do what I do, guys. I just watch too much TV and I think explosions aren't really like how they say they are. But him being military, like he's always telling me that I'm like, okay. And so like when I plugged it up and he was like, no, this is the wrong one. I was like, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? He was like, you could blow up. And I was like, And this is why my dad is bald, because
you stressing him out.
This is why my dad is bald. But yes, make sure that you're plugging it up correctly and make sure that you have a good battery. But yeah, electric can be scary. But now I know what not to do. But that was my first time ever having to like jump something, because I'm the same way. Like if it don't have to do it, then I'm not. I paid USAA for a reason. Come out here and jump my battery. Right, but when I got that tire pressure thing for because I have airbags on my truck because my camper is a little heavy, it also has a jump box on it. So in the event that I do need to jump it, I don't need to connect to anyone else's. I can use that jump box. So I did have to learn how to do that because I like to play on the wild side sometimes.
Yeah.
FYI, someone said, wow, 2 positives don't make a right.
Yeah, well, luckily it was right that day because I could have blown up and it didn't. It just didn't work.
Yes, be thankful for that, because that's my biggest fear. But so definitely have extra set of fuses. Also, keep an emergency go bag. This goes like into like more like preparedness, because in case you do have to evacuate your RV, you want to have something already like all like your documents, like being former military, this is like not anything really new for me, but it is for me because it's like what do I want to put in the go bag? Like
Mhm.
I want all these things with me, like, but I don't know, we can't take everything. So you want to make sure you have, I try to make sure at least if my husband's medications can't be in the go bag, that we at least have his medications already put together. So if we just have to grab them and go, we've had to evacuate once before. And I say this because we were in Grapevine, Texas, at our second work camping contract, and we were right on the lake, and we were taking the brunt of the winds. Mind you, we didn't know at the time a tornado literally had hit like 4 miles away. Um, we were sustaining like 60-mile-per-hour winds. Like literally, we were in the RV uh, siding we had was like aluminum, so it was very flexible. It wasn't fiberglass or anything like that. I literally, only reason why I even got scared, our bathroom at the time was at the back of the RV, so I was walking, I went to the bathroom, and as I stood up to flush, it shook me, like the whole RV like shook me, and I almost fell. And I was like, that didn't feel good. So I ended up I was waking up my husband. So where our bed was, I was leaning up against the wall, and I could feel the wind pushing in the wall. And I woke up my daughter. We had a friend staying with us, and I woke her up, but she's like, girl, God got me. I'm good. I'm gonna go back to sleep. She literally laid there. She was like, she is not familiar with the RV, but she laid there. She's like, God got me. I was like, well, you could. I pray that he does, but we gonna go because I'm not playing. I have a waterproof. This is one thing too. You might want to get like a waterproof, fireproof like envelope for all your important paperwork. We grabbed that bag. I grabbed my dog, and we ran. Like it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. It was downpouring, it was hailing, but we had to run to where we worked at. It was like a little guard shack that we worked at, and we ran. I mean, it was like a steady, it's like cylinder, like it was like the most safest place outside of the bathrooms, but we wanted to be in a place um that was easy to get in and out. It was locked. We could lock it, and we had windows, but we also had a bathroom in there that had no windows. So, FYI, my husband said that was him that made that comment. I didn't know he was thinking about your comments, CC, about two positives to make around.
Oh.
But yeah, so we ran, like, so after that we knew we need to make sure we can just be able to grab stuff and go. So I do have like our documents in a waterproof thing. It has like our birth certificates, our important documents, our RV paperwork,
Mhm.
insurance paperwork, everything that we need. um now that we've done this job, we're like, okay, we realize now we need to keep like an extra thing of food for Ree. And so, her water bowls, like normally we keep that stuff in the truck anyway for our travel days, but now it's like, what, like we need to like keep blankets and pillows and like a case of
Yeah.
water, stuff like that. So definitely keep like an emergency kit, like, because if you have to leave and get in your vehicle, your RV is gonna be bye-bye. um and if it stands the test of time, great. But I've seen so many stories of people have lost everything, and all they got a chance was to evacuate with whatever they had on them. And so just it's about planning and preparing for, especially now this is storm season, it's tornadoes, it's high winds, hail. There's not a lot that you can do about it if you are in the middle of the night. But in case in the middle of the night you get that alert, that's why a weather radio is important. Watching the weather at all times, especially when a storm is coming, preparing, like, what is your plan going to be, like, talk it over, especially if you have little kids. Get them ready, have them understand, like, hey, if mom says go, don't ask questions, we got to go. Like, you need to practice drills, because getting out of an RV is a lot harder than getting out of a house, because it is tighter corners. You got stairs that can be dangerous, especially in water, with water. It's especially at night when the wind is blowing. You got rain, you got debris. You never know what's going to kick up in the wind. So you want to make sure that you are having a plan in place. Like, if is there a place on the campground that's safe for you to go? If it's not, like right now, I would say if we were to have anything, we would be SOL, because there's nowhere safe nearby. Like, there's no gas station. The closest gas station is about like 7-8 miles away. Like, there's no safe place. Like, we literally have to get in the truck and look at the radar and outrun whatever we're trying to outrun. But I say the safest thing for us is because our campground is kind of down, and like we literally have an overpass that's like not too far from us. So we're a little bit down, I would say. So we, like, even these last winds, they didn't really feel the rocking as much as we did when we were at the guard shack, and we're literally like a few miles away from that. So I would say just like having plans, and anything else, ladies, you want to add to that? Because like, I don't know.
Having plans, and also have a they have these walkie talkies now, so you're not depending on, because what happens when these weather emergencies happen, everybody starts calling, so the calls start backing up. You have to have something that you're not dependent on cell towers, walkie talkies with unlimited. I don't know how true this is, but there was a Facebook ad that came up that a person was talking to someone in California, and he was in New York, and they were on their walkie talkies, and I was just like, huh, that's
Wow.
interesting. So yeah, that look for a way to contact your loved ones. Have a go plan to say, hey, listen, we made it out. We're okay. This is where we are. Because not knowing, you not being able to tell your family you made it is the worst feeling. After you've gotten out, right? You want to make sure you tell everybody. But if you're trying to go on Facebook Live, or you're trying to get a message through your cell tower, that I can't even imagine how that would feel, not only for your family members, but you trying to quell their worries.
Yeah.
I think I
These
done
are
got
all
big.
very.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No, I would say I think I done became the exit plan for my family. My sister called me and was like, "Girl, what's your coordinates?" And
Oh,
it threw me off because I work at night and it was early in the morning. I was like, "What?" She's like, "No, what are your coordinates?" Because when the what is it, SHTF? She's like, "I need to know where to go." I was like, "Listen, these are the coordinates and this is the directions. It's very simple. You make it to this exit, bus a left, 3 stops, bus a right, I'm on your right." But I hear the coordinates, and she was so serious. She's like, "I'm making my exit strategy."
Mhm.
But I mean, out here we have like a lot of storm shelters placed around in our area. So, and then my neighbor down below me, she lives in a hill. Like I'm up on a hill. She's below me. She has a storm shelter that she got from Lowe's. Lowe's have them, and you concrete them down. They're very small, but she was like, "We're gonna pile up in here. You and your 2 children, and me and my husband and this dog. We gonna we're gonna pile up." And I think it's only like 2 or 3 people that can fit in there. But she was like, "We're gonna get up in here." She was like, "If we ever feel it, you run down this hill and you get in the shelter with me." So I
Mm,
have one right down like at the bottom of my property. So I'm thankful for that.
that's
That's
beautiful.
good. That is. And that's important to have a plan. Like I think that's a lot of times when people don't really have a plan. It's scary to have a storm when it's winds, hail. You're already thinking like, oh Lord, the hail gonna come through. And but the hail, did y'all see the hail that was coming out like up there in Illinois? They had
yeah, they
six
were
inch hail,
huge. Mm-hmm.
and one guy had one come through his RV roof. I'm like, my husband worked on multiple roofs in the RV service center we worked in. And when I tell you, he's like, you know how you do know how strong that has to like come through, like it doesn't take much to like rip a roof, but to come through like at the angle it's coming down, like because I'm like, I don't want to know. Like that just seems like
God was chucking them things.
for real. I'm and because it was so, it looked like
Playing
it was just
baseball.
right. It
God.
was like ice on top of ice, and I'm like, it was. I had never seen hell like that. It was so deformed. Like I'm like, that don't even look like it's from this earth. Like that looks like something you would see in space. Like keep that away. But and
Right.
I, that was a dangerous storm, and I can only imagine the people that had to go through that. Prayers out to to those that lost loved ones and are displaced from that storm. And but you see that and you're like, you pray like it's never you. You hope you don't go through those things. So back with the emergency planning too, that goes into if something happens to your RV, where are you going to stay? Like what are you going to do to get back on your feet? Like how are you going to move forward? And I say that because a lot of people don't want to carry our full-time RV insurance. I know we've talked about it before, but it's that time of year. You want to make sure you have a full-time RV insurance plan. And I can say that only because I have experience working in an RV service center, and I had to see so many insurance claims get denied because people did not have full-time RV insurance. You think the RV insurance company will not know that you live full-time in your RV? Number one, if you post it on social media, they know. Number two, if they need to take pictures, or they need to come see the RV. They need the repair facility to take pictures and send them. They're going to know. It's there's a difference between a camping RV and someone that lives in it. You can tell there's things. So having full-time insurance is something that you really want. Plus, most time full-time insurance will cover your expenses while you stay in a hotel, so your RVs were either replaced or repaired. Also will cover your belongings up to whatever, like there's different levels. You can get however much you want covered. So it'll cover anything that you may have lost in that situation. And you can get roof protection. So like if your roof gets blown off, guess what? Now you got roof protection. So that's very important when it comes to emergency. Like we always think about like, man, if we're ever displaced, well, I guess we'll just be staying in a hotel. I mean, that's something that you want to have, but this also is going to transition into Cece's topic, is making sure that you're budgeting and putting money aside in case up front you need, for emergency planning, you don't have the money right. Like the insurance may or may not give you the money right up front. So if you need to go stay somewhere, make sure you're putting money aside to cover. You want to have emergency expenses, just like in a house, just like in any other form of life. 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses. I know it's hard nowadays to do that, but try. So I'm going to transition it into Cece if she wants to add on to that, but she wanted to talk about budgeting and financial management.
Yes. So sorry, I'm pulling that up. Okay, so bucket list places to visit and tips for money management on the road. So y'all know I've been in my hiking bag lately. I didn't caught the bug, and I want to go on so many more hikes now. So some of my bucket list items are definitely some more national parks. I would like to stay at one. So the Shenandoah Valley, Shenandoah National Park, which I just did the hike for, on the Appalachian Trail. They also have a campground. And one of the things that I found interesting for that one is your parking pass is good for 7 days. So you're paying $30 for a 7-day pass to stay in the park. And you can come and go as you please. You don't have to pay for it again. And I found that pretty cool. But they also have, other activities that you can do. So of course they have horseback riding up the Appalachian Trail, or you can do your regular hiking, or you can do your skyline, just driving and looking at the overlooks. So that's pretty cool. That's on my bucket list of just some national parks. I love a good view. I love the resort style RV life, but I like it when I'm like when my family, they all have RVs too. So when we're going as a group, I like it for that. Or if I'm going somewhere for work, and I just feel, we've mentioned this before, I just feel safer at an RV park with families than I do like random people just there just to be there in the woods. Now, on my off time of not going out for work or not meeting up with family, I prefer a more scenic campground. Like, so I like to be surrounded by trees. Like I was just telling someone this earlier, or I was on Deirdre's live saying it. I can't wait to move my RV to my favorite spot that's right next to the water, because it's like open. That in that particular spot is open to where I can pull my paddleboard out and go directly to it. And I like being in environments like that. So I'm excited for more. Those will be like my bucket list items. I'm excited for more